Hello everybody, welcome back to the LMS Summer Split Game 2 coming up between M17 and Fireball. Machi absolutely steamrolling Fireball in Game 1, let's be honest here. Wasn't much of a competition, and the first ban, Zac, coming out from Fireball. Not a huge surprise, to be honest. Taizan popping off on that pick last game, getting everybody rolling on his team, and then some 3Z though in the top lane. It absolutely destroyed in that last game, doing the most damage by a very generous amount. So I will suspect either they'll want to play something better into the Rumble than the Jarvan, or possibly just ban it away in the second phase. They do give it a chance to go over. And to be honest, the Rumble pick popping off was more of the rest of the map falling apart as well, which enabled him to do so well. So we'll see what the first pick coming in here for Machi17. I was going to mention the Kalista is available, and that has been very high priority here, especially in the LMS. Got a lot of talented AD carries and talented supports who can really make that pick work. Sejuani ban actually as well from Fireball, so respecting the tank meta coming in. Jarvan taking, or sorry, not Jarvan, Gnar taken away from the side of Machi, which makes me think that they want to play the Rumble again. A little sneaking suspicion. They're going to lock in the Kalista. First, though, the response from Fireball looked like they might want to secure their mid laner, Taliyah. They weren't so happy with how the LeBlanc worked last game. Of course, Taliyah a little bit more high priority, a little bit more flexible in the way you can play her. Offers a lot of lane pressure and roaming potential. Lane pressure in the sense that she can just permanently push in pretty much any other mid laner and look to roam and make plays. Thresh as well taken away, so that's going to be the Thresh Kalista combo denied. Of course, Thresh or Kalista Blitzcrank still available. They still got the Alistar they could take, Braum. There's plenty of options, and they do prioritize the Rumble, as I suspected with the Gnar ban. If Fireball don't lock in a solid top lane pick here, I'm going to be a bit worried for them. And it looks like LeBlanc being hovered here for Apex. Maybe a little bit of style here from Machi17 saying, we'll show you how it's done. That would be interesting. If they do lock that in, they're definitely going to need to snowball this composition quite hard. They were just styling a little bit. They will lock in the Rek'Sai, which is makes a little bit more sense. They're prioritizing that jungler pretty highly. Cho'Gath's still available. Either of these teams not showing any interest in that so far. Gragas, of course, still up and open as well. Interesting to see the priority on the Rek'Sai a little bit over the Gragas. Just offers a bit more early pressure and some interesting gank shoots. And the Elise, I actually completely forgot about the Elise, to be honest. Elise being up and available, but Machi17 looking for a bit more of a tanky jungler. Of course, picking up the Rumble, you don't want to go too heavy into that squishy lineup. Renekton locked in for the side of Fireball, and I like that a lot, actually. You got to lock in a laner who actually can stand up to the Rumble and possibly even turn that matchup around eventually. So good adaptation there from Fireball. Whether it works out or not is yet to be seen, but at least they're taking steps to prevent what happened last game. Fireball are going to go ahead and target that mid lane, make sure Taliyah can really have her way. Might see a Corki ban. Cassiopeia already taken away, of course. Orianna still up and available. So Elise will be taken away from Fireball. So they lose their chance to lock that one. I'm sure they have plenty of other junglers Wulala can play. Gragas still up. I'm curious to see if there's a Gragas ban, actually. I don't think it's quite that high on the priority list, but it's always possible. They might look to ban one of the more top-tier AD carries, possibly a Tristana ban. It will be Karthus taken away, actually, from the side of Fireball, so there must be something going on behind the scenes there. Apex having a little laugh there on his screen. Uh-oh, they figured me out, coach. They know what the Karthus is coming. I've seen a little bit of that across the regions. It's been kind of a fringe pick. It seems like teams are testing it. I don't think it's gone too well so far. And it is an AD carry pick to round it out from Machi, so they're taking away that Jhin from Ends. Don't want that Thresh Jhin combo. It is pretty good, pretty solid. Caitlyn, of course, still available. Fireball struggling. Of course, any champion they pick is going to look bad when you haven't won a match, or a series, I should say, all split. But specifically with the Caitlyn, they have struggled quite a bit to actually convert that lane pressure into anything solid. And I would like the Blitzcrank pick here, actually, a decent amount. It would offer a lot of pressure. Some winning is Braum, a little bit more of a safer pick. It would make sure that 3D is safe on that Kalista pick, and they have a bit more defensive option than Blitzcrank. Obviously, it will be the Corki lock-in, followed by the Braum. So that's going to be their team comp rounded out. Meanwhile, Caitlyn locked in for the side of Fireball, deciding what they want for their last pick. It will be the jungle. I would love to see Kayn, to be honest. Not because I think it's necessarily good, but I just would love to see it picked. I think he's a very interesting and unique champion. They will go with the Graves, however, so very skirmishy team comp coming from Fireball. They're definitely looking to pressure these lanes and start to really snowball them early on. But M17 with a somewhat similar composition, actually. They got a bit more power as far as the top lane goes early on. That will be pushing in for them. We'll see how it works out, though. These junglers are going to have a lot of pressure to get these lanes going. I feel like whoever can get the early lead should be able to snowball it pretty aggressively. Both these teams are looking to approach the mid lane a little bit differently. Fireball more oriented around objective control with the Caitlyn and Talia. They can easily look to make picks. They got a lot of potential in that area as well. Thresh springing to mind. M17, though, definitely looking to scrap it out here, especially heading towards that mid game. They got the Rumble. As you can see, coaches shaking hands. They will exit the stage. Team comp's locked in. Going to go ahead and jump into game here. Probably not that far. That's more like it, as we see an early invade actually coming from the side of Fireball, looking to maybe steal up this blue buff. They will get spotted out. 3Z going to pester them a little bit, but crucially, he was able to pick up the information, which is going to do a lot for Taizan. He's going to know exactly where he needs to go after he's done that Raptor camp. Ulala should be able to pick up this blue buff without any concern, though, so it's likely just going to end up trading buffs over. Nothing really huge happening here. He's going to actually stay around and take the rest of the jungle. Actually, don't see him come out that ward, so they can actually assume that he's still in here. Interesting team compositions coming out here. I do like probably M17 a little bit more, just because I think Fireball's team comp relies a lot around getting some early leads and then snowballing that into some objective control. And teams that are not great with macro tend to struggle with that. Like, even if they get an early game lead, usually see it fall apart, and the more scrappy team usually just ends up taking it. M17, I think, have that team. You know, they have the Rex side to control the early game. They have 3Z on that Rumble, who we saw last game pop off. He's going to be able to move very smoothly into the mid-game phase, and also the Kalista-Braum combo. As soon as Kalista hits 6, you want to look to make plays with that ultimate. Paired up with some nice CC from Taizan and follow-up damage from the Corki in the mid lane. I think M17 have a slightly more rounded comp. That's not to say Fireball can't make it work. They definitely can. If Graves can get going on this pick, he'll be offering a very healthy amount of damage. If they can get any sort of lead, even if it's just from a misplay from Machi, they could potentially just snowball this game out of control. They do have very good objective control with the Caitlyn and the Talia offering so much siege power. We'll see if they're able to grab some sort of lead. A lot of it will be on to Wulala to either keep tabs on Taizan and keep him under control in that jungle, or to look to try to gank some of these lanes. It's going to be a little bit hard, as Graves doesn't offer much CC, so that's why you see a lot of CC being brought in the lanes, running, obviously offering the Stun Thresh as well. Of course, pushing advantage to the side of M17 in the bot lane for now, which is a bit surprising, but Wulala going to make an early appearance here in the mid lane. Apex just going to helicopter his way on out. No sweat there. He actually decided to take the teleport this game, which I like. There's not too much that you would need to cleanse or anything like that. Some people like to take heal if they think the matchup is particularly lane difficult, but with the just basically Talia's just going to be pushing him in a lot. He's just going to be farming and trying to respond with the roams. Wulala, as you can see, trying to be very active in the early game. He will be spotted out by that ward when he goes over, but if he times it well, 3Z might be just a bit too overextended. He's being very patient, you can see on his screen there. Communicating a little bit, he decides to pop it over the wall. Ooh, it just spotted him though, that timing. 3Z's going to be able to keep safe. He seems to know that something's up here, respecting Renekton damage and the follow-up from the Graves if he happens to show up. I do like the adaptation from Fireball, though, it has to be said in the top lane. You can't give over a Rumble pick to 3Z and then pick a Jarvan into it and then just leave it alone, because you will get punished by that. You have to either try to babysit and get Jarvan going, or at least win out on other parts of the map, and they did neither of those last game, and they punished for it. Here's an interesting gank coming from Taizan, sorry. He's going to get the knock up on Skull. He's already flashed. The stun goes down. The combination is going to be too much, I feel. First blood goes over to D on the Kalista, stacking all the sticks and pulling them out. looks very painful. Might look to get the kill onto its ends as well. That was a bit too close for comfort. Caitlyn staying a bit too long. And already Machi17 pulling out to lead. That is not a good sign. Flash burned from ends and skull. Wynn trying to counter the aggression here. Gonna try to push 3Z off, even try to get a kill. Here comes the minion wave. He does have flash. Here's the TP coming down from the Corki. They're looking to turn this one around. He flashes back, trying to hide behind the minions, and it's working. Apex now on this Corki, looking to turn things around. Ninuo body blocking nicely, but this will be the aggression purned. He actually Valkyrie's forward. I don't know if that was a good idea. Flash under the tower. That kill's going to go over to Woolala. And Apex, forgetting how to play League of Legends for a second there. Not exactly sure how he thought he was going to get enough damage. He ends up going down. TP from 3Z is going to come. He's not going to lose too much CS. Bit of a overstep there from Apex. Going to give over a needless kill when they turned around the aggression nicely. Bit of a head scratcher there is going to give Fireball a little bit of a opportunity back in his top side. So far, Fireball with the lead on the top side. M17 on the bot side. Caitlyn able to get the push on though. As we take a look at this replay, so it was pretty standard. They see aggression on the bottom side, so they decide to try to make something happen on the top side. 3Z doing a really good job though, dodging at the skills, flashing behind the minions. And then Apex TP's in just to make sure everything's okay. And this is all good so far. He can either just go up to the top lane right now, get some minions for himself, but he Valkyries in the face of a Renekton, a Graves, and a Talia. I'm not sure. Maybe he misclicked there, but a strange play either way. Gonna give up his life. Should be fine though. 3Z is gonna be just fine on this rumble. The kill went over to the Graves, so if anything, it might just help Graves get some control back in this jungle. Rek'Sai, obviously with those very unique ganking paths that can come from behind your own tower, always makes things a little bit difficult. You have to ward in special places to spot out that Rek'Sai sometimes. Dreamer going to be working to get some deep vision here. Try to spot out Woolala. Does not want to let that Graves get snowballing. Graves can do a ridiculous amount of damage if he gets going early. You got to watch out for that. This team comp from Fireball can get rolling. They are very scary. They can snowball this game very easily. Machi17 though, the superior team are going to be looking to control this early game. I feel like as long as they can get to the mid-game phase being relatively even, they should be able to have a pretty big advantage. Especially if they can get these team fights that they want. Vision is going to be very crucial in this game, as it is usually in all games, but for different reasons for these teams. Fireball is going to be looking to take control of these objectives with the Talia and the Caitlyn. Zoning them off with some good siege. Meanwhile, Machi17 are going to be looking for these fights. Definitely want to find some good ones for themselves. With they got a lot of tools to make it work. Apex on this Corki, going to be looking to farm it up, work towards that Trinity Force. Only one magic damage dealer on the side of Fireball, so he can go straight into that Trinity Force and get that power spike even sooner. So as soon as he gets that power spike on the Trinity Force, Rumble should have almost level 2 ult at that point, so could be a good opportunity for them to force a fight somewhere. You're going to need good vision control for that though, which is why you can see Taizan working extra hard. Grabbing all that vision down. Apex with that blue buff is going to help him out a lot, so he can keep the rocket spam up and not lose too hard to this lane push from Wind on Talia. Machi17 probably looking to snowball this bot lane even more if they have the opportunity. Woolala, meanwhile, showing up to the top lane. 3Z without flash might actually be in a bit of trouble here. There's the slice, there's the dice. Stun is down. They will get the smoke screen for a little bit of extra damage, and they will be able to finish off that kill. Woolala picks up his second of the game, and they're going to look to pressure this tower now, actually. I love the adaptation from Fireball, focusing the top lane. They know how powerful 3Z got last game. They're looking to shut him down this time around. Taizan on this Rek'Sai, falling a bit far behind in pressure to this Graves at the moment. Biding his time, though, like a shark. Hard to find opportunities if Fireball play it correctly. They're getting pushed in most lanes, especially that bottom side. Does open up the bottom side to roam around a little bit and get control. Wind being pushed off. Looking to rotate with his team up to the top. Might look for a flash knockup. Does land it. Wind does have flash himself, and he responds in kind. Looking to regroup with his team. Will it be in time? No, he goes down. Taizan picks up that kill. A little bit of disrespect from their Wind in the mid lane. All of his pressure was up top, and he decided to step a bit too far forward. Didn't have any vision of that bottom side. Bit of a whoopsie there. 2-2 now kills. About a 1,000 gold lead for Fireball, though. They're able to pick up that first turret gold in the top side. So pressure paying off a little bit more for them. Gray's pick all of a sudden even more crucial. They're looking to punish 3Z even more. He's taken the scenic route around. Wondering if they'll... Oh no, 3Z, don't do it. Oh, he did get the recall off. Okay, you're safe. He does respect it even more though. He backs off. He knows he has to be very careful here. If this Renekton gets too far ahead and starts putting on that massive split push pressure, it really opens up the map for Fireball to be able to move around the mid and bottom side as well. Really start to peel apart Machi17. Which is a crucial part. If Fireball can actually pull the resources from Machi all over the map, that makes it very hard for them to actually utilize their good team fight. Which gives Fireball an innate advantage. See if that continues on. Ocean Drake has spawned here. Fireball currently with the bot side control. Machi definitely looking to change that up. Package is on Apex. To maybe make some plays here. Has pulled out a good advantage onto Wind. He's about 10 CS up. Got the assist to his name as well. Two of those components completed of that Trinity Force. He's looking to turn on quickly here. They do actually start up the Dragon. So Fireball looking to try to take advantage of the early lead onto Wulala here. Taizan is in the area. TP is on 3Z. Renekton is already grouped on the bottom side. They will just give it over. Not looking for the fight. They know they're a little bit far behind, so they take their time. Let 3Z get a little bit of farm back in the top side. Actually evened it up in that regard, but he's down 2 assists on the Renekton, who's finished the Black Cleaver right now, which is probably a big reason they didn't want to fight as well. He's pretty strong on that alligator, crocodile, whatever you want to call him. Pretty sure he's a crocodile. But then again, who knows, really? Could be anything. Got a little bit of aggression on the bot side. Nice Braum ult connects onto Skull. He flashes and gets the heal away. Here comes the collapse from Fireball, though. Talia Wall going to get him in nice and close. Flash forward from Wulala looking for the kill. He gets it. D dropping. Doesn't even bother using the heal. He knows he was dead. And that's the collapse coming from Fireball. The global pressure from this Talia is absolutely insane. Paired with the teleport. Machi17 were not respecting that one. They will give up another kill. They will pick up a tower in the mid lane, though. They get at least something off that. They're going to trade in the bot side, so it still will be an advantage for Fireball. While it is true the mid lane tower is more important than the bot side tower, they were able to pick up an extra kill off the back of it as well. Taizan now looking for the kill. Flash forward, Wind in a hell of a lot of trouble. He doesn't have any summoner spells. He will go down. Rexile flying in, picks up the kill. Ninuo forced to slice and dice back to safety. So a kill picked up. They're putting pressure on this bot side, though. Machi17 bot lane is on the way back. Here comes the TP flag. This might be bad for Fireball, actually. May have overextended just a bit. The double TP coming in. This is going to be disastrous. That is going to be the red carpet leading Fireball straight to their grave. Skull's going to be the first to go down. Ends being focused down next. Wulala, meanwhile, on the bot side, trying to get the trade kill. Nice dodge of the ult's going to pop. And there's the Ren stacks going off. Corki picks up a kill. Kalista picks up a kill. That's exactly what Machi17 needed to turn the tides here. Fireball not thinking 2 steps ahead, only realizing what's going on right now, and they pay for it. You can't push that far forward with 2 TPs up, especially when you just lost a few members in the mid lane. Ninuo doing his best to get something back in the mid lane. This tower will go low, but I don't think it'll fall. That is going to be Machi17 striking back in a big way on the bot side. Take a look at this replay. As we mentioned, they got a little bit too greedy. They saw the tower in their eyes. They tried to take advantage of the mid lane pressure, but they didn't take into account that the TPs were up, and they just get flanked. And in a 5v3, it is going to be Machi with 3 kills, turning this one around nicely for them. All of a sudden, they are out to a healthy gold lead. Trinity Force picked up on the Corki. As soon as Kalista finishes off that blade, they will definitely be thrust into the midst of that mid-game teamfighting composition. Fireball had an advantage, kind of throwing it away though there. Unfortunate for them. They still definitely have ways to win this game though. They got a very strong Graves. So the objective control coming through early though for Machi. They got that Kalista. It's going to be hard to not be able to take this Rift Herald, and they are definitely willing to fight here, I believe, Machi17. They got all their ults back up. Equalizer going to be up in a second. They're all grouped up. Fireball doing a good job, though, trading the objective in the mid lane. He actually might look to fight this one as well. Flash forward from Nino. He's looking to lock down D on that Kalista. No flash available, but Braum shows up for the peel. Nice knock up going to land onto him. Who's going to get the Rift Herald? That's the important part. First kills go over to Wulala. Trade onto the top laner here. Ulala looking to carry this fight on the Graves, popping forward. Braum ult going to be doing the stunning, though. Here comes the Talia wall. They will get the kill onto Callista. Finally, Dreamer retreating with 3Z there. Nice trap line going to stop them. Hook goes down. That's another kill going over to the side of Fireball. All of a sudden, they pull off at 3 for 2. Not sure who the Rift Herald went over to. It actually did go over to Fireball as well. So M17 underestimating the power right now of this Fireball team comp. They were able to collapse a lot faster, and Wulala on that Graves doing work. Got 4 kills to his name. Ends might be stepping a bit too far forward for this wave, though. That is a level 11 to level 8 Apex. Flash is available for Ends. Let's see if we can get it outplay. Got to get the net and the Flash. He's managed to do it. Gets hit by one last rocket, but he will live. He is not looking too healthy, though, and that lane will get pushed in. As we take a look at this replay, it was kind of unfortunate positioning there. Apex not able to really do any damage, and 3Z as well was zoned off. And as you can see, just more members showed up quickly for Fireball. They seemed like they were a lot more prepared for that fight. M17 seemed like they would assume that Fireball would just give that one up after taking the mid tower, but they decide to fight it, and they make Machi pay for the fact that they didn't bring enough resources over. It's true that Machi have the better team fighting team comp, especially in the mid lane, but if you're not actually willing to bring all the resources over, you will get punished for it. Looks like there's another interesting pathing choice here, looking to maybe catch out Nino on that Renekton. They do spot out Wulala as well. Nice flank position from Taizan. Will they be able to collapse here, though? Corki on the side here. He's going to dash over the wall. Will get knocked up. Blast Cone available to him. He takes it, but he's in a corner with 2 other members. Jumps over to the wall. Apex awaiting with open arms. Grabs the kill up onto Nino. That's a shutdown, and that is huge. Be slowing the pace of this Graves. They do summon the Rift Herald in the mid lane, looking to put some pressure on here, but it's the reconvenience of the M17 team. They shouldn't actually get much off this, so bit of a desperation play there from the side of Fireball. They're just going to lose a Rift Herald for free. Good plays there from M17. Collapsing in, utilizing their vision much better than Fireball there in that situation. Now Infernal Drake spawning in 3. Bad time to die for Wulala. They should be able to grab this one relatively free. Unless the Fireball team are able to stall for enough time, they actually probably will look to fight this. They got to be very careful walking into a choke against Braum Rumble, though. Callista Rend is going to pretty much secure this one. That will go over to the side of Machi. Look like there's contention coming in from Fireball. They realize that Machi are all grouped this time, so they can't get quite the same team fight they had last time. Fortunately for them, it will be an Infernal Drake. Pretty much dead even in terms of gold right now, though. A lot more towers to knock down for the side of Machi, though, so they have a lot of standing gold on the map right now. They can start winning some of these team fights even harder, start grabbing those gold, and really look to snowball this lead. Fireball looking to prevent that, get the split push going, the 1-3-1. Apex with the package here, looking to make a major impact. Recall comes through from Wind. He's respecting the fact that he has absolutely no vision on that top side. Doesn't want to risk it with some members missing. Just under 20 minutes into this game, still anybody's at this point. M17, you have to think, have a little bit of an advantage in this mid-game phase, but they still have a healthy amount of damage on the side of Fireball. They can actually play their team comp to perfection here. They may be able to pull out a cheeky little victory. They're going to have to start working on their vision game a little bit. Apex pounding down on this top lane tower. Taizan is going to show up to make sure he's able to take it down. That's going to be 2 to 3 now towers in favor of Fireball. Going to grab that one back. Fate's Call actually popped there. The Weaver's Wall was put down, so they're trying to zone out Dreamer, but he's going to get pulled back into his 80 carry. It's going to be nice and safe. Take a look back into the top lane now. Continuation of the push. That's actually the equalizer dropped. He has a feeling Graves is on the bot side, and he is correct about that one. He's going to look to buy as much time as possible. 3Z respecting the Renekton Graves combo, offering an absolutely absurd amount of damage, especially when you're 4 kills on that Graves. Got the Dustblade completed and the Warrior Enchantment. Very squishy, though, you have to point out. So if he gets locked up by any sort of CC, as we've seen in the fights, he will go down immediately. So Wulala has to be especially careful in these team fights. He really wants to just get in, do his damage, and skirt the edges of these team fights. Look for the opportunities to one-shot the carries. It is a tall task, but he is a talented player. Let's see if he's able to pull it off here. He's pretty much where most of the gold is right now for Fireball, so a lot is going to be on his shoulder in these fights. Meanwhile, Apex scaling very fast on this Corki. He's got the rapid fire completed as well. He is feeling very powerful right now. Wind set a little bit far behind thanks to the mid lane pressure that was exerted by Taizan and Dreamer. Next dragon will be the Infernal. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that Machi17 certainly want to lock that one up. We'll see if Fireball actually decide to contest it. They're going to have to be very careful with the way they set up, but if they do it properly, they actually could pull out an advantage. If they use that Weaver's Wall to their advantage and reposition properly like they did in the topside fight where they won, they might even be able to pull out an advantage here. I feel like I just like Machi's team composition a little bit more. Corki in the late game is going to be doing absurd amounts of damage. They have 3Z on the Rumble, who is now more of a late game champion than ever with the rework coming through. Ninu on that Renekton is going to drop off a little bit. He is still pretty useful in these late game team fights, but Wulala especially will start to teeter off. We're still very far away from the late game, though. There's still a lot of mid game to go here. Fortunately for Fireball, Machi have the slight advantage in the mid game, just as far as team comps go. Ninu with some nice pressure on the bot side here, though. That top lane pressure that was exerted by Wulala all throughout the early game stages is paying off so far with some nice pressure on the bot side now. Able to pull the resources. Looks like Apex has made his way down here. I believe he has the package. Not sure why he would come down here. 3Z telegraphing this play a little bit. Ninu knows something's up. He's going to try to go solid snake style in that bush recall. It's actually not the package. It's actually trying to catch him off guard with this unexpected roam. They're giving up topside pressure for this. 3Z pushing farther than he's ever pushed before. Ninu, pretty sure he knows something's up. Corki's not on the map anymore. They're still looking to go aggressive though. Apex shows up. Got the TP, so he's just he's going to be fine to be down here actually. They're looking to rotate 3Z to the top side. They're tired of getting pushed in on the bot side here, so they're going to move the stronger member down here to contest with their ranks, and has to be careful of that Weaver's Wall coming through, though. Wind exerting some pressure of his own. Just with that global ult, he's going to be doing wonders. So it looks like Fireball, for now, will take control of this dragon area. The recalls come through from Machi17. They're looking to refresh some of that vision that they have. Going to need it. Going to need to push these lanes up a little bit and walk in as a unit to control this area. Dragon up in 20. Fireball might just look to burst it down here before Machi even have a chance to contest. As you can see, objective control from Caitlyn is always quite annoying, especially with those traps. You have to walk in and take a healthy chunk of damage. Package is onto Apex, so pretty good timing there. We'll be able to use it. Imagine a Rumble ult layered on top of a Braum ult and a Corki package. That would be pretty insane. So Fireball have to be careful the way they walk into these fights. And they just cede control. They don't want to fight this right now. Just going to give over another Infernal Drake. So they spend a lot of time investing into gaining control of the area, and they just walk out and give it up anyways, which is kind of interesting. Ninu going to be continuing to pressure, this time on the top side. Wulala has rotated over. They're looking to maybe even try to take this tower down. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Apex was able to pick up that one. They're looking to trade it, though. 3-3 for now in towers. This one will go down, so Machi17 take the Fire Drake, but they can see the top tier 2 tower in response. Don't want to get caught out. They don't have proper vision of that area, so they're not going to walk into it to contest just yet. See what the call is here from Machi17. They're definitely in the driver's seat right now. Baron is up and available. They do have the Callista as well as the Corki, so they have very respectable Baron take. Rumble as well. So if Fireball lose control of this area for too long, now that the Fire Drake's down, look to this Baron area to be the main center of contention. If Machi are feeling strong enough, they're going to look to push this top and mid lane in. move deeper and deeper into the red side jungle of Fireball and look to rotate in between all three objectives, the top, mid tower, and the Baron. They're actually just starting this one up. They do have vision onto it, but they sense the recall. They actually spotted out all the recalls, and this is dropping very quickly. TP coming in. They're not going to be able to contest this one, though. The Baron is for sure going to go over to Machi17. The question is if they want to fight it or not. Machi's still very healthy, and they realize they done goofed. Like I said, they gave over vision control of it for too long. Even a few seconds can be too long when you have a team like Machi17 has. So much damage already being poured out. Blade of the Rune King, Trinity Force, and the Rumble going to be doing very good percent damage as well. So unfortunately there from Fireball, making a bit of a macro mistake, which is not what you want to do when you have a team composition like this. You can't really afford to make those mistakes, and now that they have Baron buffs, it should be a pretty easy step-by-step process from here. A little bit of Death Brush, though. Apex might be in a bit of trouble. Hook goes down. He's going to get CC'd to death. He will go down. The turnaround comes, though. Nice Rumble ult's going to force them back. Lantern going to pull them away. They rethink the situation. It is a 5v4. Looks like Wulala trying to cut them off on the other side. A little bit of trouble from D's. Forced to flash over the wall. Rumble getting absolutely deleted there. This is Fireball's fight right now. Rek'Sai is going to pick up a kill on the top side. And D all of a sudden turning it around. That's a triple kill going over to the Kalista. Flash forward from Dreamer. He's looking for the Quadra. How did they turn around a 5v4? Goodness gracious. They should be able to chase him down here, actually. Alt pop from Wulala is going to buy him enough space. Machi17 now turn their attention to the mid lane. They have the Baron buff. This may just be an inhibitor down if they're fast enough to push it. And out of nowhere, Machi turning it on. That equalizer was so delicious. And the Braum ult came down as well. The Fate's Call was able to buy enough time to get the CC down. I'd love to take a look at that replay. They're going to be able to knock down this inhibitor tower, but that will be it. Wulala doing enough work to buy them some time. He really wants to get this one. He will grab it up for himself, so they're going to have to respect and back off for now, though. As we take a look at this replay, so Apex gets caught out immediately. Yes. So he gets deleted, and then a beautiful Rumble ult is going to force Fireball to completely reposition themselves. So they managed to get out of that one. There's still quite a few team fighting tools, though. Wulala doing a good job. They try to funnel them all into this little corridor. Nice Braum ult to buy even more time. D repositioning, and it's really the Braum ult and Kalista ult combo that bought them so much time and so much CC. Fireball, yes, they had the man advantage, but they got absolutely wrecked when it comes to CC in that fight. Machi17 able to turn that around. Doesn't matter if you have a lot of damage if you're just not able to use it. That classic thing. Now Machi17 13-8 in kills. Got themselves around a 5,000 gold lead as well. Baron buff will be up for a little bit longer. Pretty sure it's almost timing out. So not the best Baron buff thanks to the catch, but they were able to turn it around nicely and avoid disaster. They were looking at a negative Baron power play there if they were to absolutely get rolled over in that fight. So good job by them to turn it around. They managed to pick up the inhibitor tower. So it's an exposed inhibitor in the mid lane. And with this type of team composition, it wouldn't be the weirdest call for them to just push in straight through the mid lane and get the inhibitor. They're looking to pressure these towers on the side, though, looking to pull Fireball out in a bad rotation. Run out of minions for now. They're looking to use this Baron buff while they still have it. Apex in that mid lane going to be exerting some pressure of his own. No TP for the side of Nino, so that's going to be advantage to Machi in that respect. Going to stay grouped up, though. They want to make sure if the team fight goes, they will be able to collapse in time. Just working around these minion waves. Baron should be over pretty soon here. In fact, it just timed out. Caitlyn trapline set up. They feel like they could be able to work around it here, though. They will wait for this minion wave. The recall comes in from ends. He took too much damage. They might be able to get it on this wave. Depends how aggressive they are with it. Looks like it will be the call to back off from Fireball. These towers very hard to defend because of the flank position that can be offered. Machi17 going to be happy with that one. They're going to go ahead and recall, spend some gold, get some more vision, and work to probably take down that inhibitor next. If they want to play it a bit more safe, though, they might go to that top side and take the tower. Of course, they can pick up Mountain Drake along the way as well. It's going to help them even more in taking these objectives. Fireball looking to try to get some back here in the mid lane. They have pushed forward, taking advantage of the recall timings. They will take control of this dragon area for now. Let's see if they look to set up another Death Breath situation or if they just look to rush it down. Machi17 hanging around a bit too long on that top side, or bot side actually. They do risk giving over this dragon pretty free. Looks like Fireball don't want to commit to it just yet, though. Machi17 learned their lesson from Apex getting caught. They do cautiously move in here. Skull will be waiting there with that hook. He gets spotted out, lands it, but that is Azoni is available for 3Z. He should be able to find himself some safety. That is a beautiful combo from the side of Machi. They will absolutely obliterate this team fight. 2 kills already going down. That's 3. That's a quadra kill. Will he be able to pick up the penta win? Trying to run it right. Give it over. They do. That's a penta kill for Apex in the mid lane. Corky popping off. Look at the swagger. He's feeling it. That might just be game, actually, depending on where the minion wave was in the mid lane. The close-up, they're actually going to take the bottom lane route. Still might be game over here. Death timer's not too long. They should be able to respawn here. It's all depending on how fast they can knock down these objectives. And that was such a beautiful combo. The Rumble Braum. That is the dream team fight. Coming out of the side of Machi17. They'll knock down the first Nexus tower. Second one will be soon to follow. Skull is up, but there is nada he can do. He's going to have to watch his Nexus get absolutely obliterated along with his team. That is going to be 2-0 for Machi17, cleaning up a few hiccups there, here and there, but overall, super clean series. You got to be happy if you're a Machi17 fan. And that was a pleasure to watch. GG, well played to the side of Machi.